All right, what's up, people? I'm eating some meat.
Beef jerky. What kind do you
Friday
have?
again. I don't know. I got this stuff from Amazon. I found some Archer mango habanero. It's not great. And these things are pretty good.
Hatch green chili. What is it?
Dukes.
Smoked shorty sausages.
It's pretty good. Tasty. I didn't eat any lunch. I'm going carnivore. That's the plan.
Straight meat from now on.
30 days. We'll see what happens.
30 days of
I don't think these are on the plan, though. The cotton candies.
gourmet lollipops.
Mike must have gone to a Home Depot. That's why he dropped them on my desk. I think I got an ear infection. My ear, it's hurting. Got to put some drops in there or something. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, that's I just was scrambling because I did the Kodawari Collective podcast. I did that, and we went like 3.5 hours, something like that. And then I did had a meeting with Scott and FIAC about setting up. We want to have end-to-end solutions for the dry ice options for both enthusiasts and professionals. And so I want FIAC is freaking awesome, and we've been struggling with some of the other. Scott's been struggling with some of the other vendors. They're just not as good. And then I had to go record the reserve your spot video for the week. So I just wanted to do like a formal here's what I know at this point with everything. And so I recorded that. So that'll go out this afternoon, hopefully. I need to record. I have an idea of something I want to do. I may do it tomorrow. I'm probably going to lose my voice here. For Inside the Hex. So I've slacked on you this week. I was just running around a bit too much.
Yeah, somebody was asking about it Inside the Hex.
Yeah, so I got a pretty talking about Destination OG and really digging into that and sharing with them, what's going on in my head there on that thing. So I'm gonna share that maybe either this evening or tomorrow.
When is the Adam LZ thing? Is that tomorrow?
It's Sunday.
Okay. No, he's got something going on. All right, so let's see here. We got some people in the chat wanting to know a couple things. Let's see. Oh, here's a good question I think you'll enjoy from Matt in the chat. Hey, Matt, early question. What would you recommend for a desktop stereo receiver solution?
I'm not sure what he means by
desktop. Like
desktop.
Computer desktop?
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to be using for? Just for listening to a stereo pair of speakers? I mean, the Blue Sound node is really the power node is really cool for an application like that, where you just want a pair of speakers and a single source where you're just going to stream from it. And you could connect a subwoofer if you wanted to. But the problem with most of the stereo receivers like Yamahas and Denons and stuff, they struggle with you can only really connect with AirPlay. Or if you are doing, Connect, it's just real clunky with the apps that they have. The other problem is a lot of them don't have, none of them have like HDMI ARC, in case you wanted to connect a display to it, like TV or of some sort. So the Blue Sound NAD stuff is like I think the preeminent streaming platform. So the NAD and Blue Sound are basically the same company, different companies, but they collaborate a lot. And I think that if you sort of work your way out the line, you would go Blue Sound Power Node. Then the next step up would be a NAD C700, and then from there you go like M10 V2, which is $2,750, or an M33, which is a lot of money. It's $5,500. There's also another parallel option like the C368 is really nice, just a bigger box, so better power supply than the more digital focused ones. But yeah, I think that's a way to go.
This is from Lucas B in the chat. Hey, Matt, do you have any thoughts or experience on Masterson's car care products? They seem really promising in the videos on the Masterson's YouTube channel.
So I think his name's Greg Masterson. He's the original Chemical Guys guy. He's a salesman, and so I think what happened is I think that he sort of seceded from Chemical Guys and he, he was the guy in all the videos, on the Chemical Guys videos. He's reached out over the years, but he's just not we're not destined to be together kind of people, He's too much energy and I'm too monotone. But yeah, no, they're just blended products. They're not, they haven't been doing it for 70 years like they pretended and all that stuff. It's just he learned stuff. I don't know the story. I'm just guessing. I'm pretty sure it's a good guess though. Where when he left Chemical Guys and went and started his own brand. But no, yeah, you don't. It's all going to be Warner Chemical or wherever Chemical Guys was originally blended, and then he's just pitching, selling, pitching and selling
since 1947.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Next up, DJ. And then Vince seconds this question. Hey guys, can you talk a bit more about the difference between the Cobra Jet hose and the new OG hose that'll be offered soon?
Yeah, it's funny. I just talked about that 30 seconds ago on the Reserve Your Spot video. So my initial reaction when we made the first hose, we had it over in the yarn building, and I held it up. I said, "This is not as good as the Cobra Jet." Right? I didn't think it was, and I thought that Cobra Jet was still better. And we installed it at my house on the AR solution. We'll have a video up here soon. It's a hard video to edit. I have to do voiceover and stuff on it, but a full how-to install video on the custom install solution, which I set up with the AR this time. Not because the Krenza's not any good, and that's what everybody wants me to say. No, I'm probably not swapping the AR for the Krenza. The AR on the shelf is really loud in comparison. It's loud to the point to where I'm kind of cringing loud a little bit. It's not loud in comparison to pressure washers, but louder than I want it to be. So anyway, I installed that hose, and that system's been sitting there for a few weeks, and I finally got a chance to use it this weekend. I washed a couple of cars and pulled the hose out, and the jacket on the new OG, and again, I'm not calling it OG spec because I think we have more room for continued improvement. I know we do. Stainless fittings. There's this one Continental hose I have my eyes on that's really, really cool that we may do, but I have a fear that it's going to be like $600 or $700 for that. To build that hose, which would be sort of the OG spec hose with some crazy stainless fittings on it. But a couple of differences. The jacket on the Gates derived hose that is making up the OG hose, the jacket is, I think, more. There's either more rubber or it's more rubberized, if you will. I think there's probably like a poly or like a plastic in the jacket of the Cobra Jet. Still very pliable, but it is especially in cold, it can be a little less pliable. So the biggest difference was the pliability of the OG hose is considerably better, like noticeably better. Now what I don't know how that more sort of rubber feeling jacket is going to hold up. Dragging across the concrete. We know what the Cobra Jet hose looks like. It gets beat up like any hose would over time. But I don't know if it's going to be better than the Cobra Jet. I suspect it's probably going to wear similarly. But when I was winding it up and dealing with it, it feels lighter, more nimble. It's technically rated at 3,000 PSI. Average burst pressure, whereas the Cobra Jet's 4,000. We're never touching those because the actual burst pressure is something like 4 times that, the spec. So you're never getting instantaneous 12,000 PSI on a 800 PSI or 1,000 PSI electric pressure washer. So the headroom is more than enough on any of the hoses. So that's not a spec that you should care about. Now the fittings, I think our crimp is a little bit better, and I also think that the other thing that's a little minuscule detail, the terminations that are used in the Cobra Jet, one end has a big heavy 22 millimeter head. That's a swiveling end, hex head, and the other end has, I think it's a 17 or maybe a 19 millimeter, but it's like integrated into the sleeve, and it's easy to strip if your wife's on there because you can't break it loose. So the fittings that we have from Gates have a much more stout, like a 20 millimeter hex head, which at first I didn't like because it's bulkier, but now after seeing it, it's going to be more serviceable if you're swapping out like your coupler on the end of the hose. So if you're waiting on a Cobra Jet, we do have a few coming. That's not going to fulfill all of our orders, and it's probably a week out. or you can opt to just get the OG hose if you want. The OG hose is a much higher cost for us, but we're able to kind of make it work to where we can, same cost for Cobra Jet or OG. So again, I don't know that I would say that, at this point that it's much better. It's very similar, just with a few little differences. The pliability is better. But the goal here wasn't really to make it better or worse. It's just to get some hoses so people have them that was OG level. And it is. And so that's good news. And we'll kind of see where it goes from there.
We had one question, too. Is the color similar to the Cobra Jet hose?
It's truer blue. It's a more consistent blue. The Cobra Jets, we've gotten all different colors over the years, and that's because it's a Chinese hose.
From, I don't even know how to pronounce this, but hey, Matt, Cordis Power Tools had their leader change over the years from Makita to DeWalt, now Milwaukee. Can you give a little more insight on how they got out front and why you prefer them now?
I can do that.
After you chew up your jerky. Mm-hmm. But first, what kind of water bottle is that? Someone asked. That's
I don't know. It was a Mosmatic sent it to me.
Oh, it's a gift from Mosmatic. Okay. Mosmatic. Let's climb mountains together.
I think it's the first gift I've ever
that you kept.
Yeah. So, what was the question again?
Cordis tools. Why do you prefer Cordis now? Power tools.
I think I started in the DeWalt universe when I first started getting some tools, and I had maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 DeWalt tools. That was the first kit I got after we got married, and we took back a lot of our registry stuff and had some extra money, and so I got like a 4-piece DeWalt set with like the little light and a drill and all that stuff. So I had that for several years, maybe 7-8 years, and then I got my first Milwaukee stuff maybe 7-8 years ago, something like that. And I don't know. For me, it's a gut thing. It's not a carpentry or I'm a real man wizard. It's just I can look, the fit, the finish. You put it all together. I think the batteries look better. It just looks the part, to me. And so when I set out to try to partner with a brand to be able to at least access, eventually I'd like to be able to sell all of them, or any one that I have an interest in. Just so we have, to me, I know a lot of people want to adopt one, battery ecosystem. I don't really care about that. I just have an extra charger and different batteries. But I understand, if you're on a budget crunch, or you don't have a lot of resources to allocate toward tools like I do, then maybe it doesn't make sense to have multiple battery ecosystems. But I think their tools are the best. I mean, I think that they clearly they've clearly become the leader in that world and taken on the professional world. And so I think that the thing that I like about them, that I get the sense Makita does this to some extent, DeWalt maybe to a lesser extent, is their focus on the professional. And I'm sure they all have some, but I feel like Milwaukee has more focus on the professional, which doesn't help me much other than they get a great tool. And so, I've been on several like marketing and some, product launch calls, and I'm the only non-real man in there. There's some real men in there with, missing the left front tooth, and you can tell their hands are calloused, and, they've been on the job site, for decades. And so that's that to me, also helps, add a little bit of validity. But I think that the tools, they look the best, they feel the best. I like the batteries the most. They just feel interesting. I did go down the road a little bit with Makita in the beginning, but I don't know. Makita doesn't really appeal to me. Bosch does, but Bosch doesn't have as robust of a line of tools that Milwaukee does. So you have the robustness of the line, their focus on the professional grade, and I think that you end up with something great.
We have a couple super chats here to get through. Improved Garage, $5 US. My Sonic cabinet shipped on Tuesday. My stainless shelves arrived yesterday. Really excited to get them installed.
Nice. Pretty easy install. I mean, easy to line up. The hardest part will be the leveling the feet. Take time to level it before you bolt your cabinets down, and yeah, that's the plan.
Christopher Baker, $4.99 US. Please put on a good rant for us today. That's a special request. All right.
People are gonna have to give me some fuel.
We'll see what we can come up with there. Sweet Jazz 2007. OG Drying Aid is my new favorite product. While Drying Aid is super slick, how do you maintain dust in between weekly washes?
Yeah, I just don't mess with it. I don't like it. Just drive really fast or something. You don't want to mess with it. That's how you start scratching stuff. You could certainly use like N914 and do a waterless wash, but then why go down that road? I like to just leave it alone.
Chad Parker wants to know, does garden hose input length matter for a pressure washer setup?
Not really. I mean, you pressurize, once the line's pressurized, you usually get 80, 90, 100 psi. So, no, it doesn't really. I haven't found it to have any real effect.
Derek Riley says, Merry Christmas, fellas. I have a basic bucket filler and inlet hose on order. If you were me, should I upgrade to the ultimate in stainless hoses? Thank you.
I would. Yeah, it's something you're going to use all the time, and I think we have those, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the other one,
correct?
And I don't have a solid ETA on those either. So we were waiting on it, but I'd choose that frickin' stainless one. Is insane.
It is
insanely priced,
yeah.
But I'm hoping that we can start to source those, cut out a couple of middlemen on it, and source them direct and have a manufacturer make them for us directly. But I don't have any ETA on that. It's maybe a year or two away. But that thing is, you'll get it and you'll understand what I've been harping on about that thing. So I would pony up the cash for sure, especially for bucket fill. You can use it all the darn time. That thing will last you the rest of you and your kids' lives.
It's true. I made the mistake. I brought Megan up on Sunday. We washed her car.
Mm-hmm.
So she got to use all the nice equipment and the stuff you got, and now she wants it all. I'm screwed. Let's see. Pierre from Canada. Imagine that. Hi, Mike and Chris from Montreal. I want to polish my Nerd 3, but I realized I have road paint on the car. Mm-hmm. Do I have to remove the road paint before I polish? If yes, what's the process and product that I could use?
Yeah, you want to get that off because the polisher's probably not going to take it off. So you would want to use Vaseline. Let it sit overnight. So scoop some Vaseline all over it. Petroleum jelly. Let it sit overnight, and then hopefully it should, that petroleum should kind of eat through that road paint and should wipe off.
All right, I brought up this site here for the next comment from YeahMan799. Hey, Matt. EAG just posted a listing on their site of a 2013 E92 M3 in Interlagos Blue, 6-speed, single hump and manual seats with only 800 miles. This is your chance for your ultimate collector car. I don't know if we should do this.
Yeah.
So, that one. Oh, there you go. 858 miles.
I don't love Interlagos. I'll go look at it.
So thanks, yeah, man. Let's see here. From Jeremy Hudson. This is a good one. What is the OG spec showering soap?
Irish Spring.
I was just about to say Irish Spring. And the regular bar, not the body wash, right? You just do that.
No, yeah, I don't understand that. What are you freaking using, a loofah? What are you, a baby?
Oh, man. Max Bravo says, will you have AR pressure washer repair parts in the store?
Yes.
Let's see. Attention to detail 2020. My garage isn't really big enough to justify the blue Prevost piping for my air compressor. Mm-hmm. Could I run a stainless line to the regulator and then a stainless line to the Cox hose reel?
Yeah, I mean, if you get like the Alto 3, it's just it's an NPT, half-inch fitting, so you could use like half-inch couplings for your pipe, or if you threaded, did NPT threading on the pipe. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, as long as it's the stainless is going to handle 125 psi for sure. So yeah, you could certainly do that.
Jeff Young says, I never used Brake Buster before in a foam cannon like Matt did until recently, and my wheels look amazing.
Yeah, I think it's a better way to do it. That wasn't my idea. Many other people told me I need to start doing that. The only problem is it's gonna beat up your foam cannon, so you probably get a couple filters, and you might have to swap them out, clean it up every so often. I usually just get a new foam cannon.
Let's see. Vacay22 says, gents, I have a can of S100 wax. Cool, right? I was thinking about slapping on some Fusso coat over my C-Quartz UK 3.0 coating. Just wondering if that's a common tactic for coating.
No, don't do that. You're gonna mess up your coating. You know, it has to play well, and you can wax on top of a coating, but a lot of times it doesn't play very well and just messes it up.
Let's see. We have a super chat for $1.99. Jeremy Hudson. He wants to know if you have thoughts or experience with Adam's graphene tire
That's
dressing.
freaking nonsense. No. There's nothing graphene about freaking tire dressing. It's nonsense. Get out of here. They're just doing that. The natural, the go-to move is, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago with Armor All, that, they have a ceramic wheel cleaner. Well, there's no ceramic in the wheel cleaner. It's just they need to call it ceramic wheel cleaner so that, because idiots, their customers, they believe they're idiots, that they have to call it all ceramic, so that way people will know this is part of the ceramic line. So no, if there's graphene sprinkled in there, I guarantee it's doing nothing.
The Mad Piranha wants to know, what does Matt think about Monoliths THX certified subwoofers?
They're okay. All the Monolith stuff is good. I mean, I would have certainly been interested in that, younger in life. It's cheap stuff that that does okay. Like that Monolith amp, the headphone amp I had was nice, and I'm sure that their preamplifier is okay. But there's this big sort of resurgence of DIY audio stuff, and so they're kind of the sort of the leaders in that world. But there's much better stuff than that.
El Ray wants to know, what's your feeling about the best mix of using full PPF or front PPF and rest just ceramic coating? I keep my cars clean, but want to preserve them for years to come. I have a 997 2S and a 718 Boxer 25.
Well, I mean, it's probably too late for both of those cars if you haven't had PPF on it yet. Because then all the rock chips, you're gonna have like an air bubble on your PPF stuff. So I mean, that's the problem, is that it's probably too late, and so then, unless you're going to repaint some stuff and then PPF it, just depends on the condition. If it's not in terrible condition, if it's in really good condition, which it probably is if he's watching this stuff, then there's only going to be a few air bubbles. But I'm not a big fan of. I'm a big fan of you do PPF right off the get, or you don't do it and you just coat everything.
Ken Jeeper disagrees. He says, who doesn't use a loofah, with a smiley face? I don't use a loofah. And then Josh says, Duke Cannon is OG spec shower supplies. There you go, for anyone looking. Improved Garage, Super Chat, $5. Thanks for the tip on the ISO acoustic stands. Mine are on the way. What do you like about this particular product over other stands?
There really is nothing else like it. The ISO acoustic stuff, I look for other brands. There really isn't anything. It's like they're the only game in town. Anything at least that elegant. So some follower turned me on to isoacoustics a number of years ago, and I love this stuff. It's great, but there really is no other. There is nothing else like that looks and the fit and finish. There's a few janky versions, but nothing as elegant.
DJ Palumbo, I think he's referring to a Facebook post here. He says there were differing opinions on what to use when coating a license plate, CSL or Deluxe. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think anything's fine, any coating, but I do just CSL XO. Most of the time I just put XO on it, because I don't really care about my license plate. I just don't want it to get off, stay dirty, and just slop some more XO on it every time I detail the thing. So, CSL XO is fine, but I'm sure Deluxe would work too.
Let's see. I'm new to OG, purchased the LYD8s and an NAD streaming amp. Do you carry anything to clean/condition automotive wiper blades?
No. I just throw them away, get new ones. I usually just kind of wipe them after every wash. The one thing you could do is I've coated them before. You could put just clean them with some isopropyl alcohol. You don't want to clean them to where the black goes away, because that means you've leached all the moisture from it and you've ruined them. And so you can throw like XO on there. But the other thing that a lot of people do is they'll put whatever their sealant is for their windows. you put that on the blades as well.
M Cropper 03 wants to know, when it comes to the bucket solution, do the dollies have locks to keep them from moving? My driveway is on an incline. I'm worried they'll end up in the street.
Yeah, there's two locks per bucket or per dolly. So yes, so like an on-off lock, like a typical typical dolly wheel lock.
Christopher Financial Group says, for us steel rotor normies, can you mix Brake Buster and the Iron Out together?
You could. I don't know how well that will play. Iron removers tend to kill suds, and I would be inclined to clean it with Brake Buster, then hit it with an iron remover and then rinse. But if you have that, I mean, and you're interested in mixing it, then I'd be inclined to just have like some Sonex Full Effect or some Nexzet. What's that wheel cleaner we used to have? Nexzet's version of a wheel cleaner, which was always my favorite version of a iron removing wheel cleaner. But I think Brake Buster is so much more. There's so much more lubrication there. I hit it with the Brake Buster, spray on some ColorTech, Nexzet ColorTech. But that stink up your whole garage. Maybe they've changed the formula, but we were having people return their things, and our whole warehouse smelled. So I think the way to go is to just spritz it with some iron remover like every fourth wash or something like that.
Joel is in Portland, Oregon. He says, is there a way to prevent tools from starting light/minor rust corrosion due to our wet moisture in the air here while sitting in the tool chest?
Maybe someone can chime on that. What about just cleaning with WD-40, and then they're always going to be a little slimy, but that I know that WD-40 would kind of help with that. What about maybe putting the Dr. Beasley's metal coat on them? Then it wouldn't be slimy. Clean them up really well with a degreaser. Get them nice and clean, and then put a coat of Dr. Beasley's metal coat. Now you're probably going to wear that off pretty often, so maybe once a year you go in, or once every 6 months you go in, and your most expensive tools, the ones you like the most that seem to be corroding, you go and hit it with that. That might be something that would work.
Scott Taylor says, I have the M18 fuel impact driver. Should I get the M12 Surge to complement it, or the regular M12 driver? Thanks again for the Milwaukee advice.
I think you always start with the regular. The regular has more torque. It has more uses. I think the Surges are like the luxury one, where you just have to have everything, like me. You want the complete set, and I think you get the Surges secondary. They just don't have quite as much torque. They're smoother, but I would still be inclined get the regular one. It was a 2554 or something like that. The regular 1/4-inch hex M12. And then, and when you build out your collection and you want to build a master collection, that's when you get the Surges.
Let's see. One Sick CRX chimes in. He says, wood paste wax for tool rust prevention. So that might be a good idea.
Genius.
Thank you, One Sick CRX. From Alex Shanks in the chat. Hey, Matt and Chris, have you considered making a titanium version of the storage plug? It's affectionately known as Stain Never in my industry. Speaking of which, we have one right here.
What does that mean?
Titanium instead of stainless. So stain never instead of stainless, I guess that's what it is.
Because titanium never stains.
We have not considered it, no, to answer the question, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could talk to Jarrett Singh at Racing. They make all kinds of titanium stuff. That'd be cool.
And these are finally back in stock for anyone who wonders. But yeah, that's the... Maybe we'll have a titanium. And then Improved Garage says he would buy one immediately. So maybe we will. Ryan P. says, Matt, if I remember correctly, you previously had the Audio Engine HD6 monitors. I was fortunate enough to get the ZO10 monitors in your fire sale. Would you consider the ZO10 to be better?
Oh, yeah. Way better. Yeah. I mean, the audio engines are nice, but the ZOs are good. Especially as a computer speaker. It's awesome.
The Mad Piranha says, if my front bumper's getting beat to crap, what would be best? To just repaint it or replace it before PPF?
Yeah, I mean, you can't put PPF on it now. So, yeah, just repaint it and then maybe PPF the repainted version. But then again, if you've already molested it, you might as well just wait, depending on how hard it is to find somebody who's good at painting where you are. If you have a good paint guy, then let it ride a couple of years and then paint it again.
Let's see. Ken Jeeper, going back to the iron remover and brake buster thing, said, I've seen P&S use their iron remover and brake buster in a video. They were not mixed, but rather sprayed one and then sprayed the other on the wheel.
Yeah, again, I think it's putting the iron remover in there is going to mess up your lubrication for your... But I don't know. Only one way to find out.
All right, we have an important question here from C-Mac. Matt, do you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
So they must just watch that that nerd. I watched the same thing. It was like some romantic comedy on Netflix. It's called Love Something or Other.
Yes is the answer, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Home Alone is a Christmas movie, but it's
and
only
the girl
because it
was
happens
saying
at
that she, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and then they were, kind of going back and forth on that.
So okay, so Love Something on Netflix, one of the Maddie favorites.
I don't know about that, but that's where I guarantee you watched that. Admit it, C-Mac.
And then DJ Palumbo seconds the question. So there you go. It's people want to know. Let me get you a couple questions from Instagram and Facebook here. Instagram, funhaver_dad. Is there any update on the garden hoses and Cobra Jet hoses? We kind of went over that earlier. Yes, Cobra Jet will have some in next week. Garden hoses, we're hoping in a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
If you're on the RYS list, like if you bought one of those or have something you're waiting for, you'll have a video up today. In your email box. Talk for 20 minutes or so.
All right, Cap'n Brett Cat says, looking at getting my first polisher. Which one should I get? I need to strip my coating, correct, and then recoat my truck. Have a good weekend, guys.
Yeah, always the first one, LHR 15 Mark III from Rupes. Then number 2 would be the 3-inch Flex XFE 12. And then you get the Nano. That's third.
One of our own is chatting here. Said Love Hard. Is that the name of your?
Yes.
Love Hard.
Yeah, I should have known that. Yeah, that's exactly what it was called. And she was saying that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
All right, there you go. Tyler Macklin wants to know, how do you feel about Expel Fusion Plus ceramic coating and Expel Ultimate Plus? Lots of...
I don't like it. I like G-Technic Halo. I don't know. Lots of people are using it, but I don't know. I just feel like, they develop it for the PPF and all that, but they just have... There's no way they've done what... They don't have the time and tenure that CarPro and G-Technic have.
Let's see. And then our own champs. It's Love Actually and Die Hard put together, so called Love Hard.
There you go.
That's a real thing?
Apparently.
I got to get out more, I guess. We have a super chat from John, $10 US. Matt, do you use a VPN on your home computers and iPhones? If so, which one do you recommend?
I never have, but I have been because of Heartland. Watching. I needed a VPN, and then I'm like, well, I've got this VPN, and it's pretty slick. So sometimes I just turn it on and use it, and it's more of like I have to remember to do it. Sometimes I forget it. I leave it on, and then I'm shopping on a website and thinks I'm in Canada, and then I have to go switch it over to Florida VPN. So yeah, I'm using private internet access, I think it's called. That it was one Bryce had, and he let me use his thing, and then I just stopped being a old man and figured it out and got my own subscription. It's like $24 a year or something like that. So yeah, but otherwise I don't really care if people are watching me. So But I have been using it more than lately. The other thing I did, I got really angry at Google the other day. I haven't switched all the computers, but I did on my main laptop to use DuckDuckGo. So I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, I think, and they were talking about this like FBI looking thing, like some weird. It's called like Patriot Front. So if you Google Patriot Front, you won't see anything. So they're talking about it. So like some supposedly, like white supremacist group or something like that. And which is, it looks like, he was talking about how it looks like a bunch of FBI guys that are pretending to be that to kind of catch people or something like that. So if you go to DuckDuckGo, which is another search engine which doesn't do all this censoring nonsense, you go to DuckDuckGo and you type in Patriot Front, it'll take you right to their website. Top search. I think it's Patriot Front. Yeah. I don't care about this. But what else do they look? That's what they should come up right there. Boom, first search. It's actually a pretty awesome looking website. So it's let's see, look, they're saying it's a white supremacy neo-Nazi group. Anyway, it was just something that, like, I mean, maybe Google should be censoring it, but why? Let me search what I want to search. And so what else are they censoring? Everything. It's freaking stupid. And so that I've switched to my default search engine over to DuckDuckGo, and I'm tired of Google's freaking nonsense. And I don't care as much about privacy as I do about just don't freaking treat me like a child. A bunch of children censoring like I'm too stupid to look for what I want to look for. That's dumb.
Attention to Detail, who asked the question about the stainless hoses for the air compressor, says, thanks guys, would the T316 3/8" stainless line on the site work? The one that we have on our website, I guess.
Yes. Yep.
All right. He says, I appreciate your help and hope you guys have an awesome Christmas, even if you hate the gift exchange part of the deal.
So you'll need to get the bushing, the 1/2 inch to 3/8, because the inlet to the hose reel is 3/8 inches, but the outlet of the filter regulator is 1/2 inch.
Let's see. We have MB wants to know, when will there be more of the new version of hoodies? It's a great question, MB. Me and Bryce were looking at that the other day, and most of what we have is out of stock that we can't get from StormTech where we get it. So it might be a little while, but we're working on it. Let's see. Alligator Window Tent Martin, our buddy, says it's way more about the installer than the product. Fusion is good, but not mind-blowing. Going back to that Expel stuff. Our buddy Brian Deal checking in from California. He made it. Good. He's not working this afternoon, looks like. He's listening to us. Just purchased your CarPro Deluxe / Bliss combo for my M3's wheels. Excited to try. Used G-Technic Exo V4 previously.
Yeah, the Exo doesn't hold up as long as we'd like, so the Deluxe will last a lot longer for you. Deluxe Gliss.
Our buddy Jeff Johnson out there in Oregon says, I want to give Matt and his team props for not being a shill on all these products I see on all of their channels. Simply Safe, Keeps, Manscaped, random Bluetooth speakers.
So freaking stupid. I mean, we all know why they're doing that. It's to make money. And I'm leaving hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on the table by not talking about something, one, I don't know anything about, and two, like these people don't know anything about it. It's just so stupid. Ugh. It's just icky. Keeps.
I haven't heard that one. What's Keeps?
Oh, yeah. That's like the hair growth bull crap.
I've heard of this other stuff. I got you.
Yeah, it's so stupid. If it were that simple, everyone would just take it. It's so dumb.
Mike G. Super Chat for $20. He says, this $20 Super Chat is for nailing that bird on your E46 drive video.
Yeah, I guess was it a bird? I mean, I think it was.
I don't know. Somebody out there, I'm sure, will slow it down and maybe catch it on there for us. Scat Pack B says, I'm building a new garage, not sure which lights I should order. Inside dimensions are 26 by 16 by 9.
That's a weird garage. So 26. That's got to be the depth.
Mm-hmm.
16 wide,
9 high, 9-foot ceilings.
So in that you would want 9-foot ceiling. You want 4 bulb fixtures, and then you would probably want 2 rows wide, and then you would probably want let's see, if it's 26, you would 3. So I would probably go 4 fixtures deep. So you'd want 8 4 bulb fixtures, and then spread out symmetrically.
There you go. MB, when will the new style black hoodies be in stock in size medium? Again, we're waiting a while, MB, but we're working on it. Let's see. Jeff Young wants to know, hey, when is Matt going to come out with his own graphene line of products? I love his reaction to graphene, honestly.
It's such nonsense. Absolute garbage nonsense.
All right. E. Santos NYC says, I'm disappointed in the water spotting performance of a professional ceramic coating I'd installed this past summer.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be crazy for me to polish it off and apply a DIY coating such as CSL plus EXO instead? Can the original coating be saved by applying a DIY topper to it instead?
The problem is you don't know what the coating, as soon as you start messing with the coating with any kind of polish or anything, you don't know if you removed all of it, some of it, none of it, you're not really sure. And so I think once you start messing with the coating, whether you're trying to decon it or you're trying to clay it or auto scrub it or whatever you're trying to do, I think that you remove it and start over.
Let's see. We have an announcement from our own Brad here. He wants us to let people know that some of the audio stuff from your sale the other night is still available because we got questions about that. You can reach out to support at Obsessed Garage to get the list of the stuff that remains.
Yeah, so I can't, the discounts are insane. So I can't publish it. I can't make it readily available. And so we have a Google Sheets, that we share with you for a short period of time, then kick you out of it. And so email support, obsessedgarage.com, and then there's we're talking 30, 40, 50, 60% off of stuff. It's all my personal stuff that I needed to, to take photos and demo and try out. So we still have quite a few really awesome things. I mean, everything's pretty good, but we have quite a few things left over that I'd like for you to buy. Otherwise, I'm going to be hoarding it.
So there you go. Email support at Obsessed Garage. They can let you know exactly what is available. Douglas Petronzi wants to know, will Matt watch the new Grand Tour special?
No.
What is? I don't know what that is.
No, that's just terrible. I just can't do it. I mean, I know people love it, but it has nothing to do with cars. It's just dumb. I don't like it. The only thing I did with Top Gear is I always fast forward to the one car scene in every other episode, and that's all I ever watch. I know people love that stuff, but I just don't like it.
My WRX channel says we need more Matt and Mike banter in the videos. It's good. Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be plenty to come.
It's fun to watch. Christopher Baker, another super chat for us, $4.99. I have a G80 M3. Which performance tire do you recommend getting?
I'm always doing Michelin PS4S's. You could do Cup 2s, but I think I'd stick with PS4S, much better in the wet.
Sean Suriano says the rear spoiler is coming loose on my Scat Pack Charger. What's the best double-sided adhesive to use after I pull it off and polish the trunk lid?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a real pain in the butt for you because you take it off and you got to get all the VHB is what you want. 3M VHB, which you can get at any auto parts store is the standard, and that's what you want. So they also sell 3M sells something called an adhesion promoter. So it's always a good idea to get that. So you clean it with isopropyl alcohol. You'll clean it, use Tarex or whatever to get all that stuff off. Then use isopropyl alcohol to wipe it clean, and then follow the adhesion promoter, and then put the VHB on. So put the VHB on the spoiler and then tack it down.
Jeff Brown says, active VE52, or should I buy up to an AR blue?
Yeah, go up to AR for sure. If you can swing it, definitely AR. I mean, the active's great, but I mean, it's still an entry-level machine. It has mid to upper level performance in an entry-level machine, where you can get mid performance with a professional grade machine.
Robert Dinman wants to know, what did you decide for your final GT4 exhaust?
It just has sole performance over axle pipes with the factory valves disconnected. They're connected, but I have the valve controller, which I never use, so you might as well save yourself the money and just disconnect them. I think it's the way to go.
From Facebook, Alex Restuccio wants to know, any chance you'll still be doing an Inside the Hex deep dive into the post-Black Friday numbers?
Yes. That's a good idea. I was looking for an idea.
There you go.
So I'll give you 4 videos next week. How's that sound? Will that buy me some goodwill?
All right, you heard it here first. 4 videos next week. Josh Verdeek, any chance to get Press All household bottles without nozzles so we can pair with industrial nozzles, or maybe just offering that combo rather than just tossing the household nozzle right off the bat?
Yes, but not until we get our container here. So sometime next year.
Josh Martin wants to know, what is your current camera/mic setup for your wash and talks?
We've been doing a combination of the C200 and then the C70. So the C70 has been the handheld cam, and the C200 regular. Microphone's always the Sennheiser AVX. Is it AVX? Yeah. System or AXS? No, I think it's AVX. So that's the wireless wireless digital version, battery powered version of the AVX, Sennheiser AVX with an MKE2 microphone, and that's what we use for everything. And then various Canon L series lenses, usually the 16 to 35 f2.8. I also have a Sigma Art 16 to 35 2.8. And then we have a 24 to 70 2.8, and then a lot of times on the close-up stuff you see when we're doing like the secondary cam, that would be the Canon C70 with a 70 to 200 f2.8 IS lens from Canon.
And make sure to get the little, what's that thing called, the wind? The
little,
over there.
Yeah, you need the little muff that goes over the little screen that goes over top of it.
Get those, or people will complain. Nate Trout wants to know, do you have any updates on the GT3 touring?
Nothing yet. I have actually. Tom was just calling me right now. Tom Walsh is my sales guy from Porsche Wilmington, North Carolina. So I've got to talk to him about it. I've been considering trading in the GT4 for it.
Douglas wants to know, he's waiting for his Crenslot from Black Friday order. Any ETAs?
The containers due at the end of December. So I would expect them to take a little while to get it out there, but we don't know how many we're getting, so it depends on how far down the line you are. So we're thinking, a good percentage of them will be shipped out in the first week in January.
TC24 wants to know, any more neighbor arguments about your trash cans? What's the latest from the HOA?
No, I get the guy just gave me the cold shoulder. I don't talk to him anymore, I guess. I don't know. I'm starting to call him King. Because he's the king. He's apparently I'm at his beck. I'm at his mercy. It's fine with me.
Let's see. E46M3, Matt, can you talk some sense into your buddy Larry Casilla for his repeated attempts at knocking dry ice cleaning as an alternative method for cleaning and restoring vehicles? He's putting out quite a bit of misinformation to a large audience and potentially affecting those of us looking to get into the business.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about on that one. So, I wouldn't worry about it. But it is something that if you're interested in getting into it, it's what you want. I mean, it's freaking cool. Scott Ailes is the preeminent resource on that. So, Larry's only rented a couple of machines, it seems. So, it's if you don't have all the conditions right and you haven't learned all the lessons that Scott has, it's not super simple. You end up with a big plume and you can't see what you're doing and all that stuff. But it's something that you need a dedicated room for. I mean, unless you're doing like some spot detailing like I am with it, you need a dedicated facility that doesn't get dirt all over the place.
Our friend Champagne Sugar says, happy holidays, guys. Matt, I unexpectedly have to replace a car in this market. Leasing numbers are horribles, and the percentage over sticker isn't much better when buying. If you were in the market for a pre-owned luxury sedan, what would you consider?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably be looking for like an M3, a F80 M3. Maybe if you don't mind a crappy transmission, the E-Class Mercedes, like AMG Mercedes. But yeah, I haven't really thought about sedans much recently. I did put a deposit down on the Rivian. I mean, probably won't get it for a year, but the Rivian, the SUV version.
Is that the R1S or something like that?
Yeah,
RS1?
something like that. Yeah.
Hayden wants to know. This is timely. After some documents this week, does Michelle spell her name with one L or two?
Yeah, one.
I swear I've seen it both ways. Sorry I missed the last few podcasts. Had to deal with my white trash fancy family complaining about their fireplaces.
Yeah.
Welcome back, places. Let's see. R&M Automotive Prediction. Has Matt considered getting an LC500? I drove one with performance package, which is rear wheel steering. It is incredible intake noise and exhaust sound. Probably the best naturally aspirated V8 still available.
Yeah, I never really The Lexus stuff doesn't do it for me. But I see, I get it. It's also unique, you know. You have something that's different than everybody else has. But I haven't, I never really considered one. It doesn't have that like lineage appeal to me, you know, where like the NSX appeals to me, the 911 obviously, the M3 appeals to me, and I've got too many darn cars as it is. I've been thinking about ratcheting back again, and I've been looking at stacker trailers as well.
Our Mike F wants to buy your Tesla, so we should make that. He's ready. Let me get back to that question I saw. There it is. Hey Matt, do you have any videos coming out on the install of your Prevost pressure washer setup and DI system from your house? Looking forward to following along for when I set up mine.
That video should be out in the next couple of weeks. We need a really awesome how-to video doing that. So yeah, we'll have a step-by-step. It's going to be cool. I think you'll like that.
Chris Kim, our friend out west, says, can confirm that the transmission on the W212 E63 AMG is trash.
It's like, you know, it's like spiky hair, New Jersey douchebag, you know, bumping EDM with the sunroof open, level shifting, you know. That's how it shifts. It's just not good.
Matt Hune in the chat says, oh man, please do a giveaway on the GT4 rather than trade it in. Maybe.
The problem with giveaways, we don't have anything to sell. So, but there's a way cool giveaway starting in the next, I don't know when he's starting exactly, but soon, very soon, like within days, day or week, where we're going to do a custom install giveaway.
Okay.
Mike and I are going to fly to your house and install it. The rules of this one is you buy anything from the store, buy anything you want.
Okay.
Anybody. So everybody will buy something from the store is entered. Not specific stuff, just anything you want.
Whatever.
And we're going to pick a winner, but the winner's going to have to pick up the phone when I call. And the winner also has to have a garage that I can come do it in. And we're putting that in the rules. Like, I'm going to call. All right, call. Oh, John Smith, he wins. Ring, ring, ring. Oh, didn't answer. Click. Generate the next one. All right, Tim Jones. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Tim. Hey, what are you doing? Did you have a garage? Nope. Oh, sorry, Tim. Never mind. Call you later. Click. Call. John doesn't answer. Click. Call Chris Haynes. Chris Haynes is home. Hey, Chris, you won a, do you have a garage? Yeah, I got a garage. Do you have a pressure washer in it? Yeah, I got a frickin' Ryobi. I've been really looking at your Crenza. Guess what? Me and Mike are flying to your house. Can we come tomorrow? We're going to come install your pressure washer. Boom. Going to shoot a video. It's going to be awesome.
Nice.
So that's the giveaway for January. It's going to be sick.
Yeah, more details on that later. All the rules and such, but that should be fun. GGS. Will you be opening an OG in England?
Okay. A distribution center is the plan, but not like it won't be much of a destination. But yes, that's the hope. Someday.
I think you struck a chord with Chris Kim describing the shifting there. He said deep cuts, bro. Deep cuts. Vince Morello wants to know, hey, Matt, do you have any experience with carbon collective molecule? I have Crystal Serum Ultra on my car, but might try molecule for the wife's car for the self-healing properties, if that's real.
Yeah, it's probably not. Carbon collective, I don't think they make anything. They're just, they have a blender somewhere in the UK, and they have a pretty cool style. I like the brand. It's interesting to me, but I don't think they're like making stuff. But again, we don't make anything either, and we have some stuff that sometimes you find something that's great. So I don't know. To try it, let me know.
Kevin Nickens wants to know, is there any way to connect the same speakers to two sources? I want to build a 5.1 theater setup and use the front left and front right and subwoofer as a 2.1 hi-fi system. Is the only real option to get a home theater receiver as my hi-fi 2-channel receiver.
You can do it. I'm trying to think of how I've done it before. Because you'd need to detach the speaker wires from one to the other. I'm inclined to just do a good job on your receiver that can run 2-channel as well. But having two systems gets real clunky, and you have to like physically switch stuff over. So I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm just not really aware of how you would do it without physically, manually switching wires over and stuff like that.
Hey, Matt and Chris, is there a video on all the mods on Matt's E92? Thinking about buying a really bad example I found and want some inspiration/aspiration for the future.
I don't think I have one video, but if there's an E92 playlist on the channel, you can kind of thumb through and check out the different stuff.
BBenJ10, have you guys considered doing a Swiss Trax Rib Trax Smooth Pro install in one of the areas at OGHQ or elsewhere to get some real world experience with how it does with dust versus the regular Rib Trax Pro?
Yeah, I mean, I have maybe a 25 square foot area with a smooth, and the smooth is considerably dirtier looking than the rest. I did it around my desk. It's okay, but I don't think there's really much of a contest. The Rib Trax is great, and the smooth is like, you only do it if you have to. But it's considerably holds dirt more, looks dirtier, it kind of defeats a lot of the purpose of the Swiss Trax for me.
Skull in the chat says he's listening to Seether in his 2017 Ford Focus, so suck it. Still enjoy the OG atmosphere. Y'all stay cool and enjoy the holidays.
Yeah.
Smart says, what does one have to spend for Matt and Mike to come out and do a garage install?
Ooh, $275, $300, $1,000.
I had 1,000 on there.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, we'll be picking some over the years to come, over the next couple of years to do stuff. But so there's not really a number on it, but yeah, it'd be a decent chunk, $100K plus.
Going back to your two sources, speaker here, Improved Garage says there's a box that does signal sensing and switching.
Yeah, I'm sure there are, but they're kind of clunky, and especially if you have nice stuff, then you're adding this clunky thing into your fancy equipment. But yeah, like that's what I said. I don't know. I can't point you in a direction, but I'm sure you could rig it to make it work.
Let's see. Deagle456 says, hey, Matt, saw some behind the scenes from the shoot that you guys used the Komodo Red Thing camera on. What exciting stuff can we be on the lookout for?
That's going to be connected to what our giveaway thing we're talking about. So we're going to buy the red stuff. I'm just
not yet.
Yeah, right.
Harold White says, hey, Matt, have you had a chance to run the Krenzla K1050TS? I'm currently using paired with the OG spec Mosmatic gun, which I would have paid $500 for. You can't find a better gun.
I think that Krenzla, we talked about bringing over some of that. I forget what that line is called, but we talked about bringing over some of the more that sort of mid-tier stuff. But then the pricing of it ended up being, at pretty much the same level as the other. So there's a whole other line of like mid-level Krenzla stuff, and but when it gets here, and then they do like 1.5 gallons a minute, and you'd be better off buying like a Comet or an Active or something like that. So yeah, we erred on the side or got away from those because of the sourcing the UL approved power cords and all that stuff. It gets expensive, so the price savings wasn't enough to make it worthwhile to stock.
Christopher Oakland says, I can't wait to move to Florida and drop the top on my Boxster 24/7, except when it rains every day. My plan is to live in the villages and work at OG. Do you hire experienced retirees?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the whole dream of you better hope you have some tan skin, because it's either raining and hot or blazing hot sun melting your forehead off.
Have we filled our spots yet when it comes to tech support hires? I think we still have. They were interviewing somebody today, if I recall.
Yeah,
but I think there is still a spot available. Email support at Obsessed Garage or go to the career site and you can figure that out. Yes. All right, let's see. Oh, no more good questions here. Let me see. I know there was one that I know the answer to, but I'm going to ask you anyway because Andrew's been whining about this for weeks. This is from MF Andres 24/7. on Instagram. If Matt could wash and correct, or let me put it this way. If Matt had to wash and correct one of his employees' cars in the parking lot right now, which one would it be?
Is that what about my own car?
No.
Doesn't count?
Nope.
Ugh. I don't want to do any of that.
I changed it to had to. I had to edit the question here.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. None.
You're never doing anyone else's car ever again.
Which is the smallest one?
Kyle's? Manny?
Yeah, it's TT. It's the
TTRS?
smallest car with the least amount of paint. That's what I would do.
There you go. All right, Blake says, hey, Matt, I can relate too closely with your retaliation against stupid rules. This goes back to our stoplight question, traffic light. How do you best deal with the ramifications and or explain your reasoning when you get caught?
I don't get caught. Never gotten caught. So what was the quote that somebody sent me was genius.
I'll go look for that real quick.
Was rules
Somebody will chime in the chat
are
here.
meant to be followed by lesser men. Crap, what was it? We can Google search it.
Oh, here we go, right here.
Yeah.
That one right there.
Yes. Rules are the obedience tools of fools, or rules are for the obedience of fools and the guidance of wise men. That's from Sal.
Sal Florio sharing
Genius.
that. Thanks, Sal.
So rules are for the obedience of fools. So you just obey. And their guidance. It's a guide for wise people, wise men, wise women, wise individuals. And I think that's a great quote. I mean, that's you're using logic in this equation of life. And sometimes you're sitting in, let's say you're in a one stoplight town, and it's like midnight, and there's no one for miles. There's no one around, and it's like a left turn light, and there's not a stop. There's not a headlight you can see for two states. Like, make the frickin' left, for gosh sakes, That's some of the things. Or you're on a back road in a car with giant brakes, and you got your head on a swivel. I mean, you want to do a little pull. Like, come on. Like, what's come on, get out of here. Stop you take your rules and or the latest one. Okay, so we're gonna pick a fabric diaper, this little piece of fabric that you can see through. We're gonna put it on our face, and our nose. We're gonna and like there's like pockets of air, and that's gonna protect us from impending doom. We're gonna go to a volleyball game where there's 10,000 people that are all screaming and yelling, and this piece of fabric is going to save humanity. It's so freaking stupid. You can take that rule and shove it up your what. It's dumb.
Christopher Financial Group says, if you wanted to spend $300 a month on a lease for a vacation house car, what would you get?
I don't know how much you can get for $300. You're gonna have to get like a Corolla, aren't you?
Oh, that sounds expensive for a Corolla.
You think?
I don't know what.
No, I would think $300. I mean, I think you're not gonna get very much. I mean, that's gonna be a $30,000 car, no less. $20-something thousand car.
An Altima. How about that? Altima.
Because you figure my S2000 lease. So that was a $33,000, $35,000 car. Lease was like $490 a month or something. Now, it's many years ago, and so we're talking low 20s. So then that's where you're in Corolla territory, aren't you?
It's great for a vacation house car.
Isn't there like a Corolla turd TRD version?
Probably. We'll look that up. So sorry, Christopher Financial Group. You need a bigger budget for Matt. Let's see. If you had to keep, or if you were only allowed to keep one car from what you have right now, Brian Wright wants to know, which one would it be?
E92 M3.
All right, Joe Ticino, looking at ordering the under cabinet lighting, watching the video where Perry installs them in your garage.
Yep.
What's the small connector that he used to connect the strip to the hardwired box?
There's a bunch of different ones. There's a 90. There's also the one to use is there's a little 2-inch. That's what I used in like the cabinets in my kitchen, and I use it on pretty much all of them. There's a 2-inch connector. So you have the junction box, and it's a 2-inch jumper connection. I forget what we call it on the site, and then that would connect it to the light bar.
All right, there's your.
And then you'll need some straight unions as you're running your lights from across the cabinet array. Yeah, there you go, turd. The Corolla turd.
Oh,
sweet. How much is that thing?
It looks like it's more than 30,000. Well,
no. Yeah, let's see how much that is.
Let's see, where does it start? No, I don't want to do all this. Just give me a price. Give me a price.
You're on Japan's website. That's why. You're not.
For Google. If DuckDuckGo, I should do DuckDuckGo next time.
Yeah. You have to, you can just go to Toyota.com, but I'd say 25, 26 grand, something like that, probably.
Base price. No, that's the Apex. What is that? Is there? Let's see. Oh, that is the Apex. So the base price is 26.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That'll probably be pretty close to $300, maybe $375.
375 is a lot more than 300.
Imagine I can see him driving around in a freaking Corolla. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna want to do that.
All right, Andres in the chat. Hey Matt, I'm a new homeowner here in search of a good set of knives for the kitchen. What are some entry-level and OG spec recommendations?
Yeah, I mean, you just go over to Bed Bath & Beyond, get yourself some J.A. Henkel's or some Wusthof. That'd be a good, decent, entry-level knives that, are German-made knives. They're decent. I still have my J.A. Henkel's that I was so enamored with and so excited to get. Got to get the complete set. I still have the block and everything.
Skull wants to know, what is your favorite Christmas movie? I like Christmas Vacation myself. I think
I like that a lot. I've been watching that lately.
Elf has grown on me over the years.
I like Four Christmases a lot.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
What's that, Vince Vaughn and
yeah. I don't like Elf very much. It's okay. I mean, obviously the staple would be what's it called? Ralphie. The Christmas Story. Yeah. So that's probably it.
Oh, and Joe Taquino says, thanks. I pronounced his name right the first time, and no one ever does. Hey, you're welcome, Joe Taquino. RCH Rest, Super Chat, $4.99. My Crinsel arrived, and it is awesome as expected. Thanks for all your hard work during the holidays and for excellent shipping speed. Merry Christmas.
Was it what 1322s in the last shipment?
Yeah,
probably?
1322s went out most recently. Thank you. We appreciate that. Vince wants to know, have you ever taken delivery of a BMW at the Performance Center in South Carolina? I've heard it's a great experience. Just ordered our first M Series, and I'm considering it. Yeah, it's awesome. You have to pay for it now. It used to be free. I've taken, let's see, my F80 M3 and my E92 M3, my 2011. So 2 cars I've done there. It's awesome. And I've been there for like a driving event as well. Just going up for that. So yeah, it's freaking cool. El Jefe says, will the unsold audio from Wednesday's list land on the open box section of the website at some point? Probably not. I don't think it'll make it that far. Yeah. Let's see. Stephen Opiperi says, I have Sam the Cooking Guy knives. They are legit. That's a good idea, yeah. I don't think he has a complete set, but he has like 2 or 3 knives. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Speaking of which, when is the first Matt the Cooking Guy video coming? It's not. No? Yeah, no. Nope. Smash burgers on the grill? No. Oh, for SVT Cobra says, Kangshan N1 series knife set are great. I don't know much about knives, so take your word for it. All right, well, thank you all for the questions. Well, now, next Friday, we will not be here. We won't? No, it's day off. What are we doing? Christmas Eve. Oh, I'll be here. You can be here. Yeah, you'll do the podcast. Maybe. The week after that is also a day off for New Year's Eve. Oh, jeez. Then the week after that, we're just going to take off just because we're getting so used to it. Take all these days off. Yeah. We're just going to do Fridays off going forward. Getting used to it. I'm sure you will. All right, people. All right, so if you want audio stuff, email support at Obsessed Garage to get the list. We have a few items left. Yep. And we will see you sometime. Maybe we'll do Thursday next week. Yeah, maybe. All right, see you guys.